Hi, it's Kim, and today we're going to take a little bit of a tour of the downstairs basement setup that I've gotten ready. It's been a lot of work in the last several days, but now that it's gotten a little bit colder, and of course now they're predicting a little bit warmer weather, I am ready. My plants are inside and I can relax. But let's take a look around. Okay, well, first of all, I've got 3 shelving units here in the basement, and each of those over there has 3 lights, and then the 3rd shelving unit has the 3. Now this one on this side just has the 2 lights, and basically they've had to get adjusted to fit the height of my plants each year. So I am considering getting a 3rd unit, but not that yet. Now let you take a look at some of the plants. I've tried to group a lot of the Hypertufa in this area, and you recall the foxtail fern, this one that I planted last year, made that Hypertufa pot with the ridges. It suits it perfectly. Now I do think that the roots, those little tubers down in there, getting very big. So I may be a little cautious and have to make another one of those to plant it up in. Now I've got 2 agaves here in Hypertufa. They're doing pretty well. They've survived summer outside, have gotten a lot bigger. My little artillery plant here, it's in regular. And our little bonsai. He's cute. He's growing, but since I've not had good luck with jade plants lately, I'm just kind of letting him rest. And then back here, if you can see it, is the urn with the watch chain. The watch chain has grown tremendously this past summer. I've got one of those little baby rubber plants back there, and some donkey tail. The little taco plant has gotten really big. I think I'm going to have to repot him in something a little bit larger. And this is some Setivaria, can't remember the name of it right now. And you recall from last year, I have the little Wardian case. It's full of succulents. They've done real well, getting bigger and bigger as time passes. Back in that back corner is the sedum. It's either the ogre ears or E.T.'s fingers. I forget which one that is, but it's doing real well. And of course my donkey tail. Now I've got the Kimberly Queen fern. She's suffering. She didn't like to come inside, and she is a little bit tall for this shelf, so we may have to make some adjustments there. And I'm planning on what I'm going to plant my snake plant in, the one that made roots. You probably saw the last of my video where we got roots on the snake plant. So I can't wait to get that planted and see how it does. Mother-in-law, or Mother of Millions, I still have that. We'll not worry about that for right now. And I brought in the begonia that I had outside. I've not had the begonia before, but it has real pretty large white flowers. So I hope I can get that to survive. This is the first time I've had a begonia this summer, and I understand they're kind of finicky. So I'm ready to see what happens with it. And of course I've stocked up on my hydrogen peroxide to water and mosquito bits to filter the water through and try and combat the gnats if they do come. Peacock fern, I'm going to trim these edges. They're getting way too big. They're escaping. I'm not real sure what to do with this. It just gets bigger and bigger. Don't know what to do, but we'll work on it. My little mini block's doing well. I may do some transplanting in there. And this one, do we have a name for that one? Peperomia Happy Bean. That's what this one is. It's one of those tiny ones we got last spring, but it's doing real well. It's a real stiff and wiry little plant. has leaves very similar to the taco plant, like that. Over here, of course, you know my two cement heads. They're not Hypertufa, but they're doing real well. The pearls and the little banana plants have grown real well. So I hope to keep that alive. I did take my cactus apart, took a lot of the babies out of the cactus, put them in Hypertufa, and here's some more in this Hypertufa, more of the same babies from the same plant. But if you remember that from last year, this is the main mama plant. But I took her out and put her in something bigger so that she'd have a little more room and maybe care for herself. Now, I won't go through the names of all these plants. We'll do a plant ID video. Now, those are some cuttings from my jade plant that I lost. These right here, they're pretty big, but since I did lose the main big jade plant, I'm hoping those will make it. I did bring in all my Aloe Pacifica. These, I've got several different pots of those. And let's see, here's another pot of that one. And I think there's one more. Oh, this one right here. I've got that. Got so many aloe. And I broke off a branch of the Christmas cactus and I just laid it in there just in case it would root. Let's see. I think these are Aeonium. I'm not thrilled with the way that Aeonium looks. I don't know if I don't take good care of it, or is this what these things are supposed to look like? But I don't like them if that's the way it is. Give me some advice if you know what I'm supposed to do with that. This is a little bit of a stretched out, I'm not sure which one. One of the Agaves. This is a little, I think it was called bear's paw or panda paw. And this plant is one of the little plants that I think got hurt by the cold. It dropped into the 40s and it was still out there. And those look like they got some damage. I'm not sure, but I don't know if this guy will make it or not. I transplanted him into some, fresh soil to try to save him. And my Pearl von Nrnberg, I'm not sure about it. It got real stretched out, but I just decapitated it and put the best that was left over. Now, I have the Moses in a boat down here on the bottom. It's huge. I'm not real sure what to do with it. I understand that you can root that easily, so I have started a new piece that broke off right over here. I've got it in water to see if it'll get roots. And you've seen the film about my aquariums all planted up. And of course I did do the second one. It's all planted up too. Looks good. Wandering Jew, I'm getting more of that. My Flapjack is back there. I put it in a big enough planter that I thought it would hold it. I think it's going to do good. And this is some baby tears. As I had said, my baby tears did not do very well this year. And I'm trying to rescue a little portion of it. Right now, I've got it on, it's been almost 24 hours under closed. I'm going to maybe leave it for another 24 hours and see if it'll survive. I brought in the, I think that's, is it called lemon coral? Lemon. I brought that in because it's not going to survive my winters here. There is more jade plant cuttings. And my trailing jade. It's gotten huge over the winter. Over the summer. You can see how long that is. I may end up having to cut it so that I can portion it off. But it looks so good, I hate to do anything to it. Down here is the Christmas cactus. and I'm thinking it will probably start to bud. Once I let it dry out just a little bit, then I'll probably give it a dose of plant food. And then we'll see what happens if I can get blooms. And my Pilea and Hypertufa, they're doing real well. And those are my little cuttings that I showed you in one of the last videos. I've got to find some pots that are the right size to put that into, and I'll be ready. And this is getting ready for a project shortly. Won't be too much longer before I have that project ready. And that's about it that's downstairs. That's what I have inside the house, and I'm going to have to be taking care of that. That's about it. And as you've seen all over, I have my little gnat trays out so that I can catch any gnats that dare to come out. Now these are just anywhere in the stores you can find these gnat traps. Sometimes they're called mouse traps because I guess you put them out for the mice and the mice can run over them and get stuck too if you have any mice troubles. That's what I've got so far here in my basement. So I hope you've enjoyed this short little trip. Not too much to see right now. I'm going to have to do some more organization because everything is just kind of here and there. Most everything has drainage, a few do not, and I want to separate the ones with no drainage and put them in a special area so I remember not to water them too much. But thanks for joining me today, and I do appreciate you coming for a visit to see my garden, and be sure and stick around and watch some more videos. Thanks a lot.